What's up, YouTube? Dad for Game. I'm going to do a deck profile on Ginger Kid's hero deck, or Parker. Guess let's start off.
Alright, first of all, we got one Stratos. Just obvious for the hero decks. You got 3 Neos Alias. Pretty standard, I guess. I mean, unless you're bad. Or Billy Break that plays
I play
2.
one. I'll play 1.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be professional and play less than 3. I play 3 T-Kings. I think this card's way too good right now not to play 3 of because it shuts down Yugiohs. It's also in the mirror match. Great against Wind-Ups. There's not really any matchup that I don't want them against. My tech for the deck, double Snowman Eater.
I want them.
Because this card, for the same reason as T-King's, way too good against Wind-Ups game 1 because they don't see it coming. You just set it turn 1 and they have no idea what it is and run into it with a rabbit and they feel really retarded. It's awesome against heroes too, so obviously you got the one on us. Most people don't play this card. I think it's a little bit too good not to play. If you just play smart, it's amazing. It wins you games. Like, it's another protection for Thunder King.
Yeah, I was fixing to say it protects your triple Thunder King, which is retarded.
It's so ridiculous. Like, and it's during damage step too, so they can't do anything about it. You got the obvious triple Miracle Fusion, like pretty standard. Triple Gemini Spark, standard as well.
Card gets so clumpy.
It really does, but you gotta have it sometimes.
It's too good.
2 pots, because it's at 2. Double E-Call, because it's at 2. And you get the staples, Monsterborn, Dark Hole. Most people don't play Heavy Storm, but I think it's just...
It's a surprise factor.
It's a surprise factor that most people don't see coming, so they're just going to be like, oh, I'm playing against Heroes game 2. If they don't see it game 1, or they're just set all their backwards if they go first, and they get blown out by Heavy Storm, and I set up plays from there with the Rhoda, obviously. I only made 1 Super Poly, simply because I went to regionals and this past weekend, and all day long I was drawing like both of them with like out any targets, or I would too often I would discard a Super Poly for 1 Super Poly. So I think 1's enough for the main board. Like, if you time it right, it's gonna win you the game if you cast it. This is what I took the second Super Poly out for, was Soul Taker, because it deals with Thunder King. And it makes Shinings miss timing. If people are dumb enough to play Chaos Dragons, it makes the Pulsar miss timing.
There's
like,
plenty of those still around because of idiots.
Yeah, and pushing for game with Soul Taker, the 1,000 life points isn't really going to matter. Like, and Zen-Mains is really a problem for this deck, so like, if your opponent opens up turn 1 Zen-Mains, if you're playing against Wind-Ups, you can just pop it and then they have to use double material and sit there and feel stupid. Get double Hero Blast. I don't play 3. Just way too clunky. 2 is a perfect number for me. Double Warning, obviously. Double D-Prison. I don't play 3 just because I like Compulsory over the third one because Zen-Mains, like I said, is a problem for this deck. And a lot of people, you never have to attack with Zen-Mains at any point in the game against heroes. You can just sit behind it. So you need a way to deal with Zen-Mains that turn. Double Bottomless card is pretty standard right now. Like, only matchup sometimes you don't want at the end is heroes. And even then, game 1, you gotta have it to deal with their Thunder Kings as well. Double Mirror Force. This is what I play over Torrential Tribute, because even though Torrential Tribute is good for me with like killing my own Shinings, I think this card virtually does the same thing.
Yeah, it's the only time it isn't that good.
This card like virtually does the same thing, but with my playstyle, like I save my Neos aliases too much and things like that. So like I like this card a lot better.
He's more conservative than I am.
Yeah, it's very true.
And that's sad.
Play Double Dart Rod because this wins you way too many counter wars that you should not have any business winning. This card, I don't know why people don't play this card. Letting them draw a card is completely irrelevant when you're winning the game. That's the same thing about Soul Taker. Like,
especially when making pushes.
It's totally irrelevant. Compulsory, like I said, already gave the explanation for this. You have to have a way to deal with Zen-Mains and Shining and stuff like that. And Solemn and Solid Road, obviously. You want on the side deck?
Sure, go for it. Just whatever.
Get the double Fossil Dyna, because Wind-Ups are absolutely rampant right now. And same thing with Dino Rabbit. You're going to need some way to deal with it outside of Snowman Eaters. So Fossil Dyna comes in against a lot of things. Plus, if you play the Bubble Beat version of Heroes, you bring in 1 of this card, because when they go first, you just blow them out of the water when they try to kill you with the Blade Armor Ninja. I boarded the stupid best Wombat. I despise this card.
Look at him.
Like, it's the cutest thing ever next to Wind-Up Shark. But I go to enough events, and I'm waiting to take this out of my sideboard and play against Chamberlain all day, and I'm gonna feel as trolled as when you get wind up looped last format and draw Max C next turn. Like, if you stick this against Chainburn, like, they have absolutely no out to it. They have to scoop. So, I play the one of it, because if I don't, I'm going to get wrecked by it. Chainburn. Penguin Soldier is my tech, because, like, same thing with wind-ups. The card seems like it's kind of out of place, but when you really think about it, with the wind-up loop and everything else that's going on, like, most people, they're going to call traps with Shockmaster, because with you setting free back rows, they have to have a way to deal with it. So if you Penguin Soldier, you just bounce it all back, and now you just got a serious plus off of it. And since it's doing damage step, they can't, like, banish the rabbit in response and things like that. Like, and it's also just with Z-Mains, again. Double MST.
It's also better than siding 4D prisons.
It's better than siding 4D prisons. Double MST, you don't need the third, but you bring it in against the mirror match, obviously. I don't think I need to explain that card at all.
And wind-ups.
And wind-ups, if you're not bad. Shut up, Justin. I don't want to talk about it. Play one Leech in the Light. Same thing as the one that's Wombat. Like, you only need one to push for game. You bring it in against mirror match and agents, obviously. There's enough at our locals, and I think at regionals, places like that, this card's going to be good enough.
Fucking lot, Sworn of Chaos Dragons.
There's so many of those decks around here, so, like, this card just wins you so many games you have no business against. Bringing the second Super Poly for obvious reasons. Double Rivalry for Dino Rabbit
you
and
can eat a dick.
for wind-ups and Dino Rabbit.
Let's decrease face
This
up.
card wins you games. Like, this card is absolutely insane. If I had the room, I would play 3, or I would at least main 1, because it's so good. I'm going to try to actually, I may be going to pick this deck up to 42 and maining one of these cards, because it's so insane. New tech that I'm playing now is Double Mind Crush.
I agree with this tech.
Because with wind-ups playing, like, running so rampant right now, and Gear Gears and Heroes, all of them search at least every single turn when the deck's running the way it's supposed to. So you just Mind Crush and just stop their plays in their tracks. And
if somebody searches Dillings and stuff off snow.
Yeah, that too. Like, when they search their gates, I mean,
I probably wouldn't side it.
I probably would, depending on, like, the build, like, if they're not playing Tour Guide, I think I'd bring in one of this card.
Yeah. Just
to deal with that play, but it's still a little bit risky, but you gotta have something to beat that deck, because it's damn near unwinnable for this deck. I just pulled Bone Skill Drain because it gets way too clumpy. Sometimes, like, you'll just draw multiple skill drains, and it's just absolutely pointless.
If you got an Ultra, you'd see it more.
Yeah, exactly. I need an Ultra really bad. If you play against wind-ups, it's like one of the probably the only deck you ever wants this card against. And so you only need one. Like, you have rivalries and things like that to deal with wind-ups enough. So one skill drain, it does the same thing. So get the third D prison because of the obvious
and
reasons,
the
like the mirror
and the fifth
and the sixth and seventh. And then Chain D, I just recently started boarding this card again because
You're
of
welcome.
Wind-ups running around. Like, you hit their rats and you hit their magicians, they feel really retarded. So, like, it's absolute blowout. The extra deck. It's your double shinings, obviously. You have the 2 Number Masters. I need to cut this down to 1, but I had it in there because I was maining Chevalier and double Super Poly, so it was just way too good against Dino Rabbit. So, I mean, sometimes you can make 2 of them against wind-ups and Dino Rabbit, so it's there, but I'm probably going to be cutting one for a Blade Armor Ninja as soon as I get one. Double Absolute Zero because I main Snowman Eater. This is my favorite card of all time anyway, so I love this card. Like, this card, you can just sit on the back of this card and win so many games because your opponent can just never push your shit in.
What's that in phase compulse?
It's true. If they in phase compulse, you feel really stupid. So, Great Tornado, like, he's just a filler. He's, like, you hardly ever go into him, but sometimes you'll want to make...
I used to get over Gores with the Stratus and Alias one day.
Yeah, sometimes you'll have to make a push with it and go for game, but not very often. It's Squardo, because it's a dark hero, and Gaia, because it's an earth hero. And it's got a very huge ass against Dino Rabbit. Your Exceeds are Utopia Ray, hardly ever go into this guy. I think I've made it once or twice in the past 6 to 8 months I've played this damn deck. Utopia, once again, you have to have it. Like, as much as I rarely ever go into it. I actually went into this guy 3 times today in our tournament. Like, because my opponent, twice in one match, my opponent, like, played a Gaichi on, like, turn 2 or 3, and I was just like, they were like 6,000 because they played for a warning. So I was just like, okay, switching to attack, make a Miracle Fusion, and then just push for game. Like, card's completely insane right now. Plus, it deals with, like, Summon Eaters, or not Summon Eater, Spear Reaper.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, it's good to get, you can get rid of their snowmans with it, too.
Yeah, like.
It's just better against Reaper.
It makes them. It punishes them.
Yeah, exactly.
For playing those cards, and you allow it, stalling for game. Like, you have the one heroic champion because this card is completely absurd. Like, a 4K beater that absolutely...
Set 4 with that against Dino Rabbit, you should win.
Yeah, like, they have no way... Dino Rabbit and Chaos Dragons have absolutely no way to kill this card when it's at 4K. Like, without wasting resources or playing, like, Dark Hole or something. The one Maestroke, I'd hardly ever go to this card either, but you have to have it. It's there if you ever need it. And the Stardust for Starlight Road. That's it.
Alright. Rate, comment, subscribe. Anything, like, if you guys want to...
Get a pink calculator.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say something about training, but I guess that works.
These things are so cool.
Bro, we're going to have Binder update and everything up, so, yeah, look out for that, guys. Peace.